And welcome back to Electric Bike Mark. On this video, I'm going to be riding the AIPAS M1 Max e-bike, as you see it right there. And what I want to talk about on this video is gas prices are basically out of control, and is it affordable to drive a car, or is the alternative get yourself an e-bike? So let's hop on and talk about this, and I'll talk a little bit about how much money it costs to ride an e-bike in comparison. Okay, so gas prices basically right now, it's hard to say exactly how much they are. It depends on what state you're in, but it's close to $5 almost everywhere at least, and then goes up above that. So, and there's no end in sight. Like, even if gas prices begin to come down now, they're not going to come down back to where they were for a long time. It's probably going to take at least a year. So e-bike is a great alternative right now. And we're just talking about fuel price compared to the cost to ride an electric bike. But you got to add in, first of all, that cars cost more to buy to begin with. I know you can't, in some instances, exclusively go to a bike, but you can at least do some bike, percentage of your drive on a bike instead of a car and save money. But the cost of a car obviously is more than the cost of an e-bike. There are e-bikes out there that can cost well into the thousands of dollars, but you don't have to go that high. And then there's other things that factor in, like oil changes, etc., for car that you don't have with the bike. But the bike is going to have more frequent, brake pads are going to be needing to be changed more frequently than a car because they're smaller and they wear out quicker, and also tires aren't going to last as long. But I wanted to talk more though on this video about the fuel cost. So basically, as I mentioned, gas prices are around pretty close to, the national average is close to $5, and then some areas are well beyond that. So let's just, for the sake of this video, say $5 for a gallon of gas. So basically a gallon of gas will get you, it'll cost about 34 cents a mile in your car, just for fuel. An e-bike, so the cost for a e-bike battery to charge up electricity, this is an average, is about 1 cent per amp hour. So basically, if you have this bike has a 17.5 amp hour battery, 17.5 cents to charge it. And as far as distance, how far can you go per amp hour? So if we are talking pedaling in pedal assist 2 or 3, I'm in 3 right now, and you're going to go in the 15 to 18 miles an hour, which I will keep it at for the purpose of this video. Then you're going to burn, it's going to be about 2 miles per amp hour, approximately. If you are going to throttle only, it's going to cost you, this is approximate because it depends on a lot of factors, but just an average, you're going to get about 1 mile per amp hour riding at 20 plus miles an hour throttle only. So at that rate, it costs twice as much. So if every amp hour gives you 2 miles when you're pedaling in pedal assist 2 or 3, that's about a half a cent per mile. If you throttle, it's about 1 cent per mile. So just think about that. In some instances, you can get there faster actually on an e-bike, but in some instances, obviously the car is going to get you there faster. There's weather conditions to deal with on the e-bike, I know that. But like I say, even if you picked your days and, you know, even if you did a percentage, 50% say, of what you do normally, then just think of how much money you're going to save though. And not counting insurance, registration for car and all that, because I'm strictly talking fuel on this video, but right now, pretty much everywhere, e-bikes are still not in that position, although we are moving toward it. Even if we do get to that, an e-bike should not cost you anything like the cost of insurance for a car. So you should still be saving regardless. I think the biggest issue with an e-bike compared to a car, like the one thing that's stopping people from going full bore, I got to get out on the road because there's too much debris in this bike lane. Whoa, that guy just kept going, he didn't even stop. Inconceivable. Anyway, the one thing that I think keeps people from going completely on a bike is there's a couple of factors. One, how big is your family? Like, you're not gonna, I know there are cargo bikes and that can carry multiple kids, but say your kids are a little bit older, you're not gonna pile 4 kids or 3 kids on an e-bike, I don't think, and then your wife and yourself, and all go out. You know, you could get multiple bikes, but for everybody, but then that costs more. But I think the weather is the big factor to me that keeps people from going full bore. You know, not able to go fully into. And sometimes it can be also distance. Maybe you just got to go too far, like maybe you're driving a commute every day of 50 miles, 25 each way. That is a lot. You know, it's doable on the bike, but that is a lot of miles. A lot of commuting is 10 miles or less. Not everybody, because some people ride just miles and miles and miles. But on average, not everybody does that. So that's why I've mentioned in the past about batteries. You may not need a huge battery or dual batteries if you're not commuting all that far, or when you do your leisure riding, you know, you're not riding all day or anything, then you could save yourself a lot of money by not getting that second battery. So you gotta look at those factors like that. Is it really worth it to get a second battery? I mean, with a couple of my cameras, I bought multiple batteries, like 2, 3, 4 batteries, and I would buy extra SD cards and different things. But honestly, I don't need them all. Very rare occasions do I record that many hours. Almost never, like hours. Even recording like I am this video right now in 4K, 60 frames per second, which I do, you can still record like a couple of hours or so. I hope the rain holds off. We've had crazy weather here lately with off and on showers, thunderstorms, the whole bit, so you kind of got to pick your spots to go out here unless you want to go out in it, which I'm not wanting to do right now. But yeah, overall, I'd say you could save a lot of money And this bike here has a basket on the back that you could put stuff in, like your groceries. If you're going to work and you're carrying a backpack or something, you know, you could just stick it in the bike. I mean, I've done lots of times, I'm sure you have too, even on an e-bike, but also in my younger days riding a traditional bike, had backpack on my back. I gotta tell you, it's so much nicer to have a rack, cargo rack, or a basket to put things in like that, like a backpack, that you don't have anything on your back. The freedom is so nice, you know. Having that on the back, it can be just a nuisance, I guess, or a pain in the butt. So it's nice to have the freedom to be able to move your arms and feel nice and light and free. But let me know your thoughts. I've had several people tell me that they've been years without a car. You know, they use the bike exclusively. I had one person tell me, this is someone in person told me not too long ago, a few months back, they were talking to me about their brother living in Colorado. And several years ago, he ditched his car and went exclusively e-bike. And he's been able to do everything, you know, everything he's needed with his e-bike. And he's in Colorado. Those are the kind of places, though, that I don't think you could do. Like, those are the ones that I would say would be difficult to do year-round. Here, you could probably do it, because I haven't been here a full year yet. I've been here, I'm in Tennessee, by the way, so, and I've been here 9 months now, just up to 9 months here. Just hit the 9 months. And so almost a full year in the winter. There was a stretch of a couple of weeks, though, where it snowed, freezing rain or ice and all that, and it kind of stuck around, and you couldn't ride an e-bike or anything like that, or any kind of bike, because of that bad weather. And so, I mean, it was so bad here that first of all, they don't have any plows or anything like that, nothing. And so you got to wait for Mother Nature to melt it, basically. And I mean, the bike lanes were just completely, everything was in the bike lanes, and all the snow that, like, the cars would pack down everything on the road eventually, but not the bike lanes. They were just, you know, not good at all. But now I did hear, in my area here, get this, they're actually going to purchase 3 snowplows. I don't know if that's for the upcoming winter or what, but I guess they just don't budget for that here because it doesn't happen that often. But here's the kind of place where you could basically ride year-round. Like I say, other than that couple of week stretch, couldn't do it. Otherwise, you can pretty much, you know, you got to bundle up a bit for the weather. This is not Alaska or anything here, though. It doesn't get super duper cold. It can get pretty chilly, though, I gotta say. But it depends how much you can bear. I mean, some people can bear more than others. I haven't had too many conditions where I have not, you know, ridden in. I've ridden in, the worst is freezing rain. That one, to me, is the worst. That one and thunderstorms. Those are the two, for me, that are not good. You don't want to do those. Otherwise, though, I mean, I've ridden in rain. You could probably look back. I got lots of videos. I mean, I'm closing in on 1,800 videos on the channel. And you can look back. There's a lot of videos that I did riding in the rain. I'm kind of picking my spots now, though, because I am retired. I can kind of pick and choose. Before, I was riding doing videos and working both at the same time, so you're kind of, you know, you couldn't be too choosy. Let's just say that you had to kind of do it if you're going to do it, because, you know, you had not enough time, you know, to just pick your spots. But now I can pick my spots. So, but I've ridden in snow, and I've also had an accident in snow, but I was going so slowly that the bike went down, I went down, but it didn't, nobody got hurt. The bike didn't get hurt. I didn't get hurt. And, you know, that video also is somewhere on the channel. That one was with my Graffiti X. I think it was one of the first times I took that bike out in snow. And then I've ridden the Grizzly, aerial rider Grizzly in snow. So I've ridden in the snow, I've ridden in rain. I've had a couple of accidents, minor, like not going very fast. One was out of my driveway, black ice on my Rad Rover 4, and the bike slid out from under me. My driveway was a slight slope. It's 1 car length long, 2 car length wide, and I'm not sure what the angle was, but it was a little bit of an angle, you know. It wasn't flat. And so when I went to make the turn out of my driveway, the back end of the bike slid out on the black ice, and I didn't even know it was icy there. And so the bike and me, the bike more than me, I slid too, but the bike slid right across the road. But I was in a residential area, of course, and so luckily, and this was at like 5:15 in the morning on my way to work, and luckily there was no other cars around, so you know, otherwise I could have got run over or whatever. You'd have to get up awful quick, and sometimes you're in a little bit of shock for a moment, you know, when something like that happens, and you kind of freeze for a minute. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you ride a bike, an e-bike, to save money like that for fuel, or do you just ride the bike as additional, like just exercise, and have the car too, but no intentions on getting the bike to replace the car in any way? Let us know in the comments. And either way, it doesn't matter. E-bikes are awesome, but I'm just wanting to get this video out to just let people know, hey, we have alternatives for gas prices being crazy. This has a really good suspension. This AIPAS, really nice full suspension. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to leave a comment on this or any other videos that you've seen on the channel, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Once again, thank you for joining me today on Electric Bike Mark. And until next time, be safe everyone, and keep your wheels on the road. See you later.